Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to discuss some problems for practice by using that methods which we have already discussed in the previous video lectures. And this is the second lecture of 6 week for the course numerical analysis. The methods which we have already discussed in the previous lectures for the solutions of non-linear algebraic equations are Newton-Raphson method, fixed point iteration method, secant methods, false position method, and bisection method. So, dear students, there are two fundamental approaches by which we can find the roots of nonlinear equations. Two approaches, one called open methods and other called bracketing methods. Open methods like Newton-Raphson method, fixed point iteration method, secant methods, and these three methods including false position method have already discussed in the previous video lectures for the solution of nonlinear equations. Today we are going to solve some problems for the practice of these methods like Newton-Raphson method, fixed point iteration method, secant methods, and inshallah in the next lecture we will discuss bisection methods and some example for the practice of method like false position method. We have already discussed in the previous lecture false position approach. So in this lecture I would like to solve some examples by these three methods for your practice like Newton-Raphson method, fixed point iteration method, and secant method. So let's start an example by solving Newton-Raphson method. Suppose we have a nonlinear equation x cube minus 467 is equal to 0, and we want to find the roots of this nonlinear equation correct to two decimal places by using Newton-Raphson method. So dear students, in this example you will see one is the numerical solution which obtained by Newton-Raphson method, and other is the exact solution of this nonlinear equation. So you can find the exact solution of this nonlinear equation by easily taking logarithm on both sides. First of all, write x cube is equal to 467, then taking the log on both sides we get 3 log x is equal to natural log of 467, and this is equal to log of x is equal to 1/3 log of 467, and after simplification we obtain x is equal to e power natural log of 467 divided by 3, and using a scientific calculator you will easily get x is equal to 7.74542264. So this is the exact answer of this nonlinear equation. Now we are trying to find the numerical solution of this nonlinear equation by Newton-Raphson method. So we can check our numerical results by comparing the numerical results to this exact result. So by Newton-Raphson method, first of all taking the derivative of this nonlinear equation, the derivative of this nonlinear equation is using the power rule 3x square, and the derivative of this term is 0. Now using Newton-Raphson method, the Newton-Raphson formula for the roots of a nonlinear equation is given by xi plus 1 is equal to xi minus f of xi divided by f dash of xi, where f dash at xi does not equal to 0. This formula working for I is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 up to n iteration. Now to find roots by this equation, choose an initial value x naught. Suppose we choose x naught is equal to 6. Now to find the second root x1, putting I is equal to 0, we generate these roots like for I is equal to 1, the formula will be x1 is equal to x naught minus f of x naught divided by f dash of x naught. Putting the value of x naught, the value of x naught is 6. In putting 6 into the original equation, we obtain minus 251 divided by derivative of the function at x naught is 108. Now after simplification, we obtain x1 is equal to 8.32407. So now for I is equal to 1, we obtain the third root, which is x2. X naught is the initial chosen value, x1 is 8.32407, and now x2 which will be x3. So x2 is equal to xi minus f of xi divided by f dash xi. So dear student, first of all, evaluate the function and its derivative at x1, this value 8.32407. So this is the value of x1, and the value of the function at this x1 is equal to 109.7768 divided by the derivative of the function at this x1 is equal to 207.8706. So after simplification, x2 is equal to 7.79597. Now for I is equal to 2, x3 is equal to x2 minus f of x2 divided by f dash of x2. Dear student, I am using this formula for I is equal to 0, for I is equal to 1, and now for I is equal to 2, x3 is equal to x2 minus f of x2 divided by f dash of x2. So the value of x2 here is 7.79597 minus. Now evaluate the function at x2 and the derivative of the function at x2. Putting the value of x2 in the given function, this is the given function, f of x is equal to x cube minus 467. So in this function, when we put x2 is equal to 7.79597, we obtain 6.817273 divided by derivative of the function at this value of x2 will be 182.33156, and after simplification we obtain x3 is equal to 7.75858. So dear students, note that the value of x3 is close to the exact value after up to 2 decimal places, 7.75 and 7.75. So this is the approximate result of the non-linear equation correct to 2 decimal places to the exact result, and we can find the errors by subtracting this approximate result to the exact result. Now let's move on another example by using Newton-Raphson method. Another non-linear equation is equal to x cube minus x square minus 10x minus 8. So by using Newton-Raphson method, first of all, taking the derivative of the function by power rule, 3x square minus 2x minus 10, and the derivative of 8 is 0. So assume an initial estimate of the root, suppose x naught is equal to 6. So find the x1 root by using Newton-Raphson formula, x naught minus f of x naught divided by f dash at x naught. This is the value of x naught, and this is the value of the function at x naught is equal to 6, and this is the derivative of the function at x naught is equal to 6. So putting the value of x naught cube minus x naught square minus 10 into x naught value minus 8 divided by the derivative of the function 3x naught square minus 2x naught minus 10, and after simplification we obtain the value of x1 is 4.6977. Now for I is equal to 1, putting in formula we get x2, and x2 will be x1 minus f of x1 divided by f dash of x1. This is the value of x1 and this is the value of the function at x1, and this is the derivative value of the function at x1. So putting in the function x1 4.6977 whole cube minus 4.6977 whole square minus 10 multiplied 4.6977 minus 8 divided by the derivative of the function at this x1. So 3 into x1 4.6977 whole square minus 2 into x1 4.6977 minus 10, and after simplification we obtain the value of x2 is 4.1289. Now to find the other roots x3, x4, suppose we have a table which are already calculated for you. This is the value of x0, this is the value of x1, this is the value of x2. You see here in the previous slide 4.1289 is the value of x2. So the x0 value is 6. This is the value of x1. For I is equal to 1, this is the value of x1. For I is equal to 2, this is the value of x2. And you will put the value of x0, x1, x2, x3 and x4 into the given equations. You will find a root which satisfied the equation. So this root, this is the x0, x1, x2, x3, x4. This is the x0, x1, x2, x3, x4. This is a root x4, and this root satisfied the given equation, and you can find the errors by subtracting this next root to the from the previous root. Suppose this is x0 and this is x1. Subtract this x1 from x0, we have error, we obtain the error 1.3023, and now subtract this x2 from x1, we obtain the error 0.5688, and similarly subtract this root from this root, we obtain the error 0.1232, and now subtract this root from this root, we obtain the error 0.0057. So from this error we can sure we find that the errors is very less, error decreases. So this is the exact root for the given non-linear equation, and since this is the exact root, how I can say this is the exact root? If we put this exact root into the given equation, this equation will be satisfied, because the error between the exact answer and the approximate answer is 0.0000. So if I consider this is the exact true value, so subtract this true value from this approximate value, we obtain this error 2.0000. and now subtract this root from this true root, we obtain the error 0.6977, and now subtract this root from this exact root, then subtract this root, this approximate root from this exact root. We can check our this result by putting this result into the given equations. So since after putting this root into the given equation we obtain 0.0000, there is no error, so we can say that this is the exact root of the non-linear equation. For this case, the convergence criteria xi minus xi minus 1 yield a conservative estimate of the true error. The solution should be checked by substituting the calculated root into the given function. Now, practice for the fixed point iteration method. Suppose we have a non-linear equation. Dear students, I have already told you that for the fixed point iteration formula, first of all, arrange the given equation into the form of x is equal to g of x, and there are so many ways by which we can write the equation into the form of g, and here this equation can be written in the form of g function as g of x is equal to e power minus x. X is equal to g of x. Now shift this term minus x to the right hand side, we get x is equal to g of x, which implies that g of x is equal to e power minus x. So thus the formula predicting the new value of x by this iterative formula xi plus 1 is equal to e power minus xi. Now to choose the initial value x naught is equal to 0, and at the fourth step, first of all, in the first step, rewrite the equation into the form of function g, and then choose the iterative formula, and at the second stage choose the initial value, and at the fourth stage the iterations continuous till the approximate error reach a certain limiting value. So dear students, now to find the other roots by you see here in this table, suppose this is the x naught value. Now the fixed point of g, the fixed point of this g function will be the root of this given function, and you know that what is a fixed point? A fixed point of g, suppose alpha is a fixed point, so alpha will be the fixed point for the function g. If we put alpha in this g function, g of alpha is equal to alpha, then alpha will be the fixed point of this function g, and the fixed point of g will be the root or the approximate root of this given non-linear equation. So here we are going to find the fixed root for the function g. So if the fixed root for the function g is 0, then putting this 0 into the function g, we get 1. Here you put 0, e power 0 is equal to 1. Now if 1 is the fixed point of g, then 1 will be the approximate root of the given equation. So putting this one into the given function, into the g function, we obtain 0.367879. So 1 is not is the fixed point of g. Now put this 0.367879 into the function of g, we obtain 0.692201. So 0.367879 not the fixed point of g, but all these values converges to the initial value. So maybe there is a fixed point for g function, then the fixed point will be the root of the given equations. So now put this point 0.692201 into the function g, we obtain 0.500473. Now putting this value into the given function g, we obtain 0.60244, and putting this value 0.06244 into the g function, we obtain 0.545396, and putting 0.455369, we obtain 0.79612. Similarly, putting 0.076912, we obtain 0.60115, and putting 0.60115 into the g function, we obtain 0.71143. So here this value, when we put this value into the given function 0.71143, into the g function, we obtain 0.64879, and putting this 0.64879, we obtain a value which will be the approximate fixed point for g, and this fixed point is the approximate root of the given nonlinear equation. And dear students, you see here 0.56, again 0.57, and you see here again 0.56. so the root are alternative repeated for two decimal places. So 0.64879 is the approximate root of the is the fixed point for the g function, and this is the approximate root of the given nonlinear equation. Now let's move an example for the secant method. This is a nonlinear equation. In the secant method, we have already discussed that for the secant method we choose initial two values, suppose x0 and x1. For this example, for this nonlinear equation, f of x is equal to e power minus x square is equal to 0, we choose suppose two values, x0 is equal to 0 and x1 is equal to 1. For secant method, the sign of the function will be opposite, not required. The sign of the function not required, that at one root the function have positive value and at the other value the function have negative sign, so it is not required. So using secant method formula, this is secant method formula, xi plus 1 is equal to xi minus f of xi divided by xi minus 1 minus xi divided by f of xi minus 1 minus f of xi. So for I is equal to 1, 2, 3 up to nth iteration. This is the secant formula, xi minus f of xi into xi minus 1 minus xi divided by f of xi minus 1 minus f of xi. And this formula can be written as xi plus 1 is equal to xi minus 1 f of xi minus xi f of xi minus 1 divided by f of xi minus f of xi minus 1. So for I is equal to 1, here we obtain the second root x2. So this will be, for I is equal to 1, this will be the value of this is the value of xi is equal to 1, this is the value of x1 minus f of 1 into 0 minus 1 divided by f80 minus f81. So dear students, putting in this equation I is equal to 1, we obtain here x2 and this will be x1. So this will be the value of x1. For I is equal to 1, this is x2 and this is x1. So for I is equal to 1, this will be the f of x1, and here you see for I is equal to 1, this will be x0, the value of x0 is 0, and this is x1, the value of x1 is 1, divided by, for I is equal to 1, this will be the x1, and this will be, for I is equal to 1, this will be x0. So f of xi, I is equal to 1, f of xi, and so for I is equal to 1, this become x0 and the x0 value is 0, so f of 0, and for I is equal to 1, it will be f of x1 and the value of x1 is 1, so the function at 1. So first of all, estimate the function at 1. You see here this is x1, for I is equal to 1, this left hand side become x2 and this is x1, the x1 value is 1 and f of x1, so x1 value is 1, calculate the function at 1, and now for I is equal to 1, this will be x0, the value of x0 is 0 and the value of x1 is 1, divided by f of xi minus 1, for I is equal to 1, this will be x0 and the value of x0 is 0, so calculate the function at 0, and this term will be f of x1. The value of x1 is 1, so calculate the function at 1. We obtain 1 minus into e power minus 1 minus 1 square into 0 minus 1 divide by calculate the function at 0. E power 0 is minus 0 square minus calculate the function at 1 e power minus 1 minus 1 square, and after simplification we obtain the x2 root as 0.6127. Now the method convergence to a root of 0.70346778. You see here in this table, this is the value of x0 and this is the value of x1. We have two initial roots which we choose x0 0 and x1 1. Now by using the secant method, when we put x0 0 in the given equation we get 1, and when we put x1 is equal to 1 in the given equation we obtain minus 0.6312, and you see here 0.6127 is the 0.6127 is the x2 root. This is the x2 0.612700 x0 x1 and x2, and we can put this root into the given equation we obtain 0.166485. So to find the third root x0 x2 x0 x1 x2, and this is the x3 root 0.693440, and the other root x4 0.703838, and the fifth root is 0.703466. So dear students, note that in these two root there are 3 digits repeated after the decimal. So this is x0 x1 x2 x3 x4 and x5. The fifth root are correct to 3 decimal places. Similarly, the sixth root are correct to 5th decimal places, and this last root, which x0 x1 x2 x3 x4 x5 x6 and x7, this is the correct, this x7 is the correct root of the given non equation, correct to 6 decimal places, because 6 digits are repeated after decimal. These two roots are equal. So this x7 is the root of the given non equation, correct to 6 decimal places. And when we put this root to the given equations we obtain minus 0.2010 raised to power minus 16. It's mean that when we put this root to the given non equation we obtain the result most close to 0. So dear students, in these examples you notice that how to use the Newton-Raphson method, how to use fixed point iteratio method, how to use the secant method for approximate root of non-linear equations. But dear students, one point should be noted: why these methods called open methods? These open method called open methods due to choosing the initial guess. In the initial guess we are free, we can choose any x0, any x1 values, any x0 value, any initial starting values. But for false position approach and for the bisection methods, these method called bracketing methods, there are some conditions by which we choose the initial values. So the open methods and bracketing methods have this difference. The difference between the open methods and the bracketing methods is that in the open methods we are free to choose the initial guess, the initial starting values. but for the bracketing methods we use some condition for choosing the starting values. And inshallah, in the next lecture we will discuss the bisection approach for finding the approximate root of nonlinear equations. Now this is the end of this segment. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.